Hey, what's going on? NSK, a podcast. I don't know what podcast this is, but we've got Kenny and Yoshi with me. Or do you prefer Yoshi and Kenny?
It doesn't matter.
I'll let you pick Yoshi since you have seniority. Or do
you can. No, we were joining at the right same time, I think.
But you're older, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Just go alphabetical order. Kenny's first.
Kenny and Yoshi. I'm David. Welcome to the new year, January 1st. We decided to record some thoughts encompassing the whole year and also going to talk about the State of the Union for the 2018 season of the Idol world.
It's a season.
Yeah.
Okay, it's sports.
I guess first of all, let's do some catch-up. There's people say they like catch-up, right?
Some.
Yeah, so I haven't talked to either of you guys in quite some time. I think the last time I officially had you on a call, on a Skype call, was when we were talking about Love Live.
Were we?
Yoshi, not you. I didn't talk to
Well,
I never talked to you about
me.
Love Live.
I mean, I think we discussed like, oh, maybe we should watch Love Live.
Right.
And
I watched
guess
the movie.
what?
I watched the movie.
I watched Love Live. So
Did you watch it finally?
I watched Sunshine, the first season of Sunshine.
I bought that on Blu-ray. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
It's different characters,
It's better,
though, right?
Yeah, definitely different characters.
And then what happens?
I don't know, it's good. It's nothing to write home about, but I think it's solid. It's enjoyable. I like the characters.
Did you watch any of the Wake Up Girl stuff?
No, I didn't watch Wake Up Girls.
Because here's the thing. Wake Up Girls, I've been wanting to watch that Blu-ray for a long time, and it was on sale during the Black Friday sales, and I bought it. Dude, the first season, the first episode, they're already a group, right?
Right.
And then the second episode, literally the end of the first episode is like, hey, we got a major producer. He's gonna produce us now, and you're like, oh shit. And then literally the end of the first one is like the producer like, hey, so you guys wear these, and he like gives them like bikinis to wear, and you're like, oh shit, this anime is gonna get hilarious. And then like
it's very idly.
And then but the second episode is literally them like performing in like skeevy like spas and like health clubs and stuff with the skeevy like guys, and they're like, what are we doing? And they're so it's
they
like
got bamboozled.
Yeah, it's like a complete, and it's not even funny at all. It's not like ha 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 ha, this is so hilarious. They're having to do that. It's really like depressing, like, oh well, what are we doing with our lives? Like questioning themselves, kind of thing. Like
I think I've watched one episode, and it was the driest thing I've ever seen.
It's really weird.
I thought it was gonna be like either like dramatic or comedy, right? Because idols, you'd think it's either dramatic or comedy. It was neither. It was just this dry, like slice of life procedural, like this is idols, guys. Like in actuality, like it's bland and
I got really
deadpan.
I got really depressed after watching the second episode because in Love Live they have that first season episode where they perform to like an empty hall. Because they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to be idols. It's going to be great. And, like, they think it's going to be all happy-go-lucky fun. But then, like, they pass out their flyers. They're like, yeah, here we go. Curtain comes up. And the curtain comes up, and there's, like, nobody there.
No one. Yeah.
Sorry, that's kind of a spoiler for the first season, but I guess. But, yeah, but then they do this, like, dramatic, like, performance, and you're like, oh, yeah, I love them. They're so great. They're going to be great idols one day. This is part of the struggle. But it's not, like, emotional like that at all. Like, the girls are all like getting ready. They're like, we're gonna put on this great performance at this spa, and then like, yeah, and then like the curtains go up, and then they're just bouncing around in their bikinis, with like all these guys hooting and hollering at them, and and you see like the desperation in their face, like, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, why am I watching this? This is not anime at all.
I mean, at least that's more realistic than Love Live's world. I think Love Live's world is just super happy-go-lucky, and there might be one dude in the entire show that talks.
Oh, one dude that talks?
Yeah.
That's good or bad?
Like, it's unrealistic. It's like K-On! There's like one male character the entire show.
Speaking of one dude that talks, what's going on with you, Kenny?
Where
the hell were you? You like
that was the unmute.
No, because like I have like laundry, like the laundry machine going back.
What are you doing? Oh, you muting yourself during the show in between dialogue or what?
Yeah,
like
in between
I
dialogue.
don't hear it. I think you're fine, dude.
I think you're fine, Kenny.
Okay, as I was worried that it'd get picked up by
breathing
Audacity.
heavy into the wait, you live at home, right? Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I live at
Do you
home.
live in the laundry room or something? Because like my
It's
laundry,
close to my room.
it's close to your room, but you're not in the actual room itself, right?
No.
Because I think you're fine as long as you're not in the laundry room with the dryer going. So what's been going on with you, Kenny?
Um, Nothing much. I just finished my first year of school online,
Uh huh.
and it started today. It starts up back up today.
On the first?
Yeah, on the first.
That's
Yeah, this
that's kind of weird, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Well, it's whatever though.
I guess start the new year off. Uh, so how are we gonna do this then? You got anything else to talk about? Because you were talking about that's the real idol world, and I kind of wanted to jump into idol talk from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we should just get into it. I mean, we could do a separate thing about catching up, I think. This
Sure.
is specifically
But-
for this thing has a purpose.
Okay, so you said you wanted to talk about the year in review, the last year.
Yeah, so basically 2017.
Okay,
Just
so-
like quickly go over what was good about 2017 and what was bad about 2017, and then think about where
Well,
the state of the idol industry.
You tell me about that because how we got started with this conversation is because I started to ask. You were like telling me you think the idol is going to collapse on itself because of all the 48 stuff.
Not just 48 stuff. I think there is just so much like saturation
Uh-huh.
right now. Like we knew it was a problem even a couple years ago, right? The amount of idol groups coming out was just insane.
Uh-huh.
And let's be real here, a lot of it is trash.
No, what are you talking
Yeah.
about, dude?
A lot of okay, let's be real here. It's either
Y'all,
there isn't enough funding, or the creative direction
No,
is
no,
just
but-
stale, or just too out there.
so,
I think
y'all
there's
don't
some
like the low
bad
but y'all tend to
shit.
not like the low budget stuff, right?
yeah, I'm not hugely into
Oh,
low
man,
budget
I
stuff
lo-
because
I love those crappy PVs now for some reason. I didn't
Okay,
like them before, but
to each their own.
Mhm.
But like PVs as a visual medium should
it's-
be
yes.
something that's like eye catching.
did you watch the new Kamiyato PV that came out?
I
last
haven't.
week?
But their PVs have been
They're pretty
lackluster.
lackluster. They're
Yeah.
pretty bare bones. It's hard. It's hard even as a fan of Kamiyato. It's hard for me to watch a PV of theirs.
There was
I
that
get
one
excited.
PV last year where it was like them just walking through Tokyo or
Singing.
wherever, Harajuku or whatever, right? And they're like they have like the red string of fate that's tied to their pinky,
Uh huh.
and they're like chasing it the entire time. I might be confusing this with another group, but I'm pretty sure it's Kamiyato. And it was like
Or maybe
they
it's-
did that like twice last year, like a similar PV.
Yeah.
And they did one on the beach, which was not very good either. And
No,
we're like,
that was good. They were
No,
like
it
really
looks-
pretty.
it looks.
Oh, see
God,
that one I
PV
liked.
was
I remember that one
grimy.
now actually. Where it was just kind of like this very like ambient looking at
Yeah,
the
it was
beach.
ambiance, but it looked
They
more.
they didn't really do
than
anything, right? It was like all
ambiance.
shot in like one shot, right?
Maybe
It's like
I-
one
I-
shot
I
and they
didn't
just went
like
from
that
girl to
PV
girl
at
to
all.
girl.
Yeah, I
Not
don't. It was just.
Oh,
I
Yoshi,
thought it was a badly shot PV.
Yoshi, I'm sorry. This is a kind of off topic, but I want to find a way to get you to Japan. I think once you go to Japan,
what
once you see Kamiyato live, I think you'll completely change your tune.
I don't think so. Their
When was the
music
last
doesn't
time
do
you
it
were
for
in
me.
Japan?
What?
When was the last time you were in Japan?
1998.
1998, 2008. It's perfect time, right? 30 years later. Is it 30 years?
20 years.
20 years later, Yoshi makes his return, and then you can do the RVD like R Yo Shi E, and then like walk into the like Japan stadium or whatever.
Yeah. Sure. I'll RVD it. I'll frog splash into Japan.
Well, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way how to do it. You said you would take a boat.
Yeah, I'd probably take a boat.
Okay, so if we can get you on a boat and like in 3 months you'll be there.
Yeah, probably.
You're
I
not
gotta get
you're not scared of
off, though.
pirates.
No, not really.
I'd be worried
Not
about
not the
pirates.
ones here. I don't think we have to worry too much about pirates around this hemisphere. But
But you were saying
that's beside the point.
what's good about this year? Okay, so
Yeah, like what aside from Kamiyato and their I think low budget looking PVs, what did you like about this past year?
well, I don't know if I liked Kamiyato this year. I like that group. Just
Yeah.
it's weird though because they really had their breaking out a couple years ago and they've kind of just so there's their original producer I think or the producer guys or whatever. Anyways, I went to go see a group called Appare Harajuku,
Right, and they turn into Kamiyato, right?
Well, no, they were like crazy, and I was like, "Huh, this group really reminds me of Kamiyato a couple years ago." And then like one of my Japanese friends were like, "Yeah, that's the same guy. The same guy left Kamiyato to do Operate Harajuku."
Yeah, I knew there was some sort of tie-in.
The problem is Operate Harajuku lost one of their members. I don't know what happened to her, but like Operate Harajuku, it sucks because they've actually been like you know the lifting band that they had at they ban all this shit at TIF, Tokyo Idol Festival, which is one thing I don't like. I know a lot of foreigners like to go to Tokyo Idol Festival. That's like their dream, or that's the goal to go to. But I don't want to say true fan, but I feel like you miss so much at Tokyo Idol Festival just because there's so many people. You know what I mean? There's so many people. You're gonna be waiting in lines all the time. You're gonna be running around trying to barely catching all your stuff. I don't think that's like the best formula.
The thing is, if you want to see a group, like if Kenny wants to see Tsuribit, right, he should have his freedom to wait in line for 10 hours to see Tsuribit. It shouldn't just be this group is conveniently like placed in this place that's easy to access and they have no fans, so I can go see them easily. Like Kenny would rather probably go see a group that he likes instead of just settling for a group that's easily accessible.
You're talking about, so that's for or against Tokyo Idol Festival?
I would say it's for, because I think Kenny would rather go see his favorite groups by going to Tokyo Idol Festival than
favorite groups, plural, right?
You're right.
But by the way, are you even still into Tsuribit, Kenny?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from you about Tsuribit. They didn't put any singles out this year, right?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
They did plenty.
Did they?
Yeah.
Which is they had a bikini summer single? Oh, they did. It's the one where they're wearing clothes at the very beginning, and then like they all pull out bikinis, like, oh look, we got these, let's try them on today, and then they all run off, and then they're on the beach in their bikinis.
And there's a PV where they want to become an idol group, and at the end they perform at a cafe or something. I remember that one.
Kenny, did you actually put out those fish shirts that you were making a couple years ago?
No, well, I'm not supposed to put it out because those are licensed, but they're sold on Natalie. The only I didn't put out any of those fish shirts. Well, I made my own.
Well, here's the thing. Tsuribit was selling these really cool shirts a couple years ago. But it's a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. They were selling really cool shirts, but we couldn't get them because we weren't in Japan. So Kenny was like, "Oh, I'll just make them," and then he actually made really good like graphic like templates for all of them, exactly the same. Like it was like these little fish with like colors on them. And I was like, cool.
Yeah,
and he's like, hey, David, look what I made. And I was like, cool. And I was like, okay, send me one.
I think it's fine if you want to wear it on your own.
I think if you make it for
start
yourself,
selling it.
Yeah,
that's it's not even so much about I'll be afraid of them coming after people. It's more like just ethically, I'd rather not make money.
I always find it weird when people, like whenever I go to these conventions, like these anime conventions and stuff, or these weird, like I was in LA and they had these like street markets, and I'd be like walking down the street markets, and there was all these people's shirts. They were just basically taking other people's characters and putting on a shirt and selling them on the street, and I was like, geez, ugh. Yeah. Like, why is that okay?
It's not.
It's not okay, right? Exactly.
It's not legal, technically.
What were we talking about?
So no, like I was saying, like Kenny, you would agree, right? You were not going to just say, oh, because this idol group is easier to access, I would rather go to
you want to see the group you want to see,
right, Kenny?
Yeah, I would. If I wanted to be adventurous and see another group, it'd probably be outside of a huge idol festival.
Right.
No, I think Tokyo Idol Festival is great for. How do I say this without being offensive? The casual fan.
Oh God.
I don't want to say it like that, but how else can you say it?
There's like 100,000 idol groups that perform at Tokyo Idol Festival. I think you can find some non-casual fan groups.
You absolutely can, but I always feel like you can't. You're not seeing them. It's like you're not seeing them in the wild, right? It's okay. Oh, that's a perfect example.
Oh, so they're it's like a zoo.
So yeah. Like you want to go see lions, right? Okay, you could go to.
You want to be the dentist that kills a lion.
No, I'm gonna say kill a lion.
That asshole.
But you're sitting in that. You're sitting in the zoo. You're like looking through the glass. You're like, oh look, there's a lion. Kenny, do you see the lion? Do you see the lion? Tap on the glass. And you're like, oh cool, we're TIF. we could see the lion through the glass, and like everybody's not allowed to jump around. There's no lifting. They've actually banned like jumping now. I've heard. Like lifting is one thing when like people are climbing on top of each other and they're like lifting them in the air and like jumping, but like you can't like. There's that what I forget what it's called, but it's just jumping in place like a pogo stick. Have you seen the people who do that? They get super hyped and they just literally jump in place.
Yeah, they're just jumping.
It's like they have springs in their the soles of their shoes because they just keep bouncing up and down. Like it's this like you're not even allowed to do that anymore. I've heard.
I'm okay with that because if someone was doing that next to me,
it would be annoying for you.
Away.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, it would be annoying, and that's why I understand it, completely understand. I don't want to be annoying either. Yes, but also, you know, like going back to my safari like example, you kind of want to go see the lion in the wild, right? You want to go be on the like little Jeep driving through the savannah, and you see the lion in the far off distance. You're like, oh shit, he's getting closer. Like, what do? Get the rifles out, you know, in case he charges. It's that like fear of danger a little bit, right? That's what makes it.
What are you afraid of in this situation from the idols?
For me, no, I'm not afraid of anything. But
yeah. So how does this like relate?
So I remember the first big, the first real like, I had a bunch of different idol experiences, but like the first time I was actually like, it was borderline kind of annoying and like frustrating. It was me. I went with Dave Chang and Hero.
That's where you went wrong.
Well, it was Dave Chang, Hero, and like Daryl. I think it was the four of us. Okay, so we all went, and the I remember Baby Raids was there, Paspo was there, Otome Shinto, which was the only time I ever saw Otome Shinto, and then they like, I didn't get a picture with them, and they broke up like 3 months later. Before the next time I could go back to go see them, they already broke up, or they broke up and reformed with the new members. But I remember we were at that show, and Baby Raids came on, and everybody completely flipped their shit, and they were jumping all over the place, climbing on each other. I started like lifting people up, trying to like. And it was annoying because these Baby Raids fans were like jumping around and kicking people, like not kicking, but like flailing all over the place. And I got really annoyed at it. And I remember at the end of the show, Chang had 2 light sticks. He had 2 pen light, King Blades. You don't use the pen lights in those situations, so he put them in his pocket. And we were just being bounced around so much. Like after the show, we all after their set, we all turned to each other, and Chang's like, "God damn it, I lost my King Blades." Because he had been tossed around. They just popped out of his back pocket, and they got stomped. And then, like after the show, when everybody was filing out, he was like sitting there looking around for them, but they were gone.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean it was a kind of it's a little bit of the fear of like you're gonna get trampled, you're gonna get run into a couple times, you know.
So you like that?
Yes, to a certain extent. Yeah, I feel like that's the real idol experience. For me, again, this is for everybody is different, I guess, but for me, the real idol experience is the like seeing somebody like a no-name somebody, like supporting somebody that's a no-name, right?
Yeah, I mean that's like the core concept of like idols or Japanese idols in general.
But it's
is
changed
like
a lot.
It has, but the core is still the same. There's that like rooting factor to it.
Yeah.
So I can understand your point of like. The right way might be to support these smaller groups with no fans.
Not right way, but
well, you did say it like once.
No, well, that's not what I meant. But yeah, but right way. It's funny because Kenny and I have been in Japan together, and I'm still completely baffled by Kenny's experience in Japan. Kenny?
Yeah. And well, like why? Like I thought you were gonna talk about why you were baffled.
No, I'm just. You experience idols completely different than I thought you would. I don't know if that's right either. You went to go see Suribit a shit ton.
I did.
I just remember you just went to see them every day, and which is fine. I know a lot of people who do that. I know one guy who goes and all he does is go see his favorite member in Festive. He goes for like 2 weeks and he goes like 14 days straight and just sees.
That's insane.
Yeah, like I wish I was that dedicated. I can't do it because I like literally my personality will not allow me to listen to the same songs like 3 days in a row. Like I used to go to Alice Project and like I'd go 3 days in a row and I'm like, God dang it, I don't want to go for a week. I'll go next week. And then I would wait a week until I went to go see it because I just literally can't listen to the
only reason why you're going so much is because you don't live there. Like if you had lived there, you probably go to other things or do other things in
absolutely.
general. Right?
If I lived
like
there,
these
I would
people
just
that live there and do that, they're
They do it for
insanely dedicated.
But still,
I'm not gonna.
2 weeks straight of the same
Yeah,
group
that's
every day. That's
crazy to me.
Crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'll go like 2-3 days in a row, and then I'll be like, okay, I need to take a couple days off. I'll go see somebody else.
Yeah.
Where are we? Okay, so that's TIF. That's
Okay, so
we're talking
what?
about,
Yeah. So you did. Wait, did you even go to TIF?
I've actually never been to TIF. Never.
Okay, so like
I've
I don't know
wanted
why
to.
we're talking about this.
Well, we were talking about things you like and things you don't like, right? Of this last year.
Yeah, so like you didn't go to TIF, so why are we talking about TIF?
Well, because I know enough people who go to TIF who live in Japan, like they volunteer and they actually like involved in TIF too. Like they like kind of let me know about these things going on. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Right.
It sucks they don't let you do that. And also because everybody's like there to see HKT anyways, right?
Right.
Like HKT being involved in TIF, it's nice, but I mean, HKT can do their own thing. They don't need to be.
But let's be real though. Like, if you're gonna hold like some sort of like tour or some sort of festival, like Ozfest or Vans Warp Tour or something,
right. You need the headliners.
You need some headliners.
Absolutely.
You need groups that are big enough to where you bring the fans and hopefully they'll stick around and watch like the smaller groups.
That's my question though. How much of a carryover is there? Like these groups, like for me, I've learned that the idol fans is like intensely loyal to their group, right? Maybe some of these groups, maybe some of these fans go see other groups, but they're like always loyal to their main. So like, I really doubt how many people. The 48 world is kind of like in their own world, right? It's a world within a world. Like you could just be into 48 groups and all the sister groups, and you'd be.
And it's
that's its own ecosystem.
Right.
Right. So I feel like it's very difficult to be like, oh, I'm into 48, but I also like this other group, Paspo. I go see them on the side too, or something like that.
Right.
Well, I mean, that would be me though. That's me.
You're into the 48 and stuff on the side?
No. It's 48's my main, but I also go see like, I'll go like 3-bit or like Festive on the side.
I think you like TGS and groups like 3-bit enough to where they can be considered your main too.
You know what's really funny? Because when I first met Kenny and he was into Tokyo Girl style, I was like, oh yeah, Kenny's like young, and so it's okay for him to like this younger group. Because I remember Tokyo Girl style was always a little bit too young for me.
They were really young when
they so I was like, oh, I'm 26 and they're like 15, 16. That's weird. I don't know if I can get into them. But now that Kenny's like older now and he's into like these younger groups, I start thinking like, Kenny, is it okay for him to be liking these younger girls?
If it's a healthy relationship, I think it's fine for anyone.
No, it's just funny because Kenny's like, you're getting older, so
I am getting older.
You will always be that little kid that I met like at Barnes and Noble. So, but yeah, you're getting older, and like I'm looking at all these girls, and they're like, I told myself when I started seeing idols in their born in the year 2000. I was like, okay, that's probably the time I probably need to start thinking about retirement.
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago. And then now I'm like, wait, well, all these girls in 2000, born 2000, they're all 18 now this year, right?
Yep.
So it's totally fine.
Scary. No, nothing is totally fine. It's just...
Nothing is?
No, none of this is totally fine. I think there's always going to be this weird thing where...
I love it.
Oh, God.
I love it, because the thing is, it's a completely different... Okay, there's a friend of mine, and I'm not gonna say his name so we can keep him private. But like, it's just a different life, right? Because like, I work for my parents. I don't work for like a corporation or something like that. So I'm not worried about like, oh, somebody finds David DLJ's into this stuff. We'll report it to his manager, and he's gonna get let go. Like, I don't have to worry about that. But like,
well, even then, like, as long as you have a healthy fandom, I don't think it really matters, anyways.
Oh, let's do a podcast about what isn't a healthy fandom.
Oh God.
No,
I'm not interested. No, I'm good.
But yeah. So we gotta hurry up. We have a lot of stuff to
Okay.
talk about.
So you said what you don't like about 2017 is TI.
It's not that I don't like it. It's for me, it's hard because I actually didn't go to Japan last year at all. I had planned to go to Japan like 3 different times, like in February, then May, and then in August, and I didn't go to any of them. Stuff just came up at home, and so I wasn't able to go. So it was actually a weird year for me because I was kind of like as far away from it as I could have been. And there was a friend of mine she was gonna move to Japan, and then she ended up not moving. So then like yeah, it goes to show you, man. Like now she's not even into idols. She like completely gave it up.
Nice.
I was like, oh wow, no,
That's
not
probably
nice.
better.
No, not nice because now she's not an idol fan, and I'm never gonna go to a show to her.
Let's be real. We should all not be idol fans.
Is that the case? Because speaking of non-idol fans, I ran into Tron this morning. So
Yeah.
he's not an idol fan anymore, right?
No, I don't think so.
You
at
talked
all.
today?
Well, is he?
I don't know. I mean, he's not.
I don't know.
He doesn't talk about idols.
I don't think so. The conversations I've had with him, they either tend to lean towards sports or shoes.
Yeah.
So
Tron?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking to me about oh gosh. Hold on one second.
Did your mom just come in? Because
Yeah.
my mom just came in.
Yeah, my mom just freaking came in our room and told me
Oh,
I need to
God.
do stuff right.
All right, just make sure you cut that out, okay? Just
cut
to
it out?
spare your embarrassments.
I think it's fine.
Yes.
I don't care.
Well, do you care, Kenny?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Okay. If you don't care, whatever.
So, well, what do you think about this Nijicon thing? You heard about the Nijicon thing? Or not
Yeah.
Nijicon, but Dempa?
Yeah, Dempa Nijikon, yeah.
Yeah, so what do
Baeball
you... Well, actually, for me, it's Baeball Girl, but...
Right.
Yeah, so you have any opinions on that?
Not really. Kenny
Yeah,
should.
Me neither. Well,
But you don't?
not really. I mean,
fucking
okay.
Pedro Sensei is like one of your favorite idols.
I know, but I mean,
I don't think it's good
I mean-
for... I don't think
Yeah,
it's good.
like, okay, well,
Because, you know,
I guess,
okay, I follow Baseball Girls, right? Baseball Girls got... They had some big, huge tax scandal at the beginning of the year, and their management got dissolved. Was it this year or was it last year? Oh my god, it might have been 2 years ago. But anyways, they got some big tax thing, and then their management got dissolved, and then they applied to Nijicon Pixiv, right? And Pixiv
Yeah.
management picked them up, and they joined the Nijicon. That's why you see them rolling with Nijicon all the time. But now, actually, they got picked up by Denpa like...
yeah, they're with Deer Stage now.
Yeah, they're with Deer Stage now, specifically. And this
Wait,
is...
Babel got entirely is with Deer Stage?
Babel got and
Nijicon?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Also-
everyone from Pixiv like transferred to Deer Stage.
Okay,
Right, and
that makes sense. That
that's
makes
why
a
you
lot of
see
sense
them,
now.
That's why you see them.
So they're all sister groups now.
yeah,
Okay, that
But-
makes sense.
but I mean, you think that's a good thing? Because I feel like it.
Well, I don't-
So Dempa
Wait.
is hurting, right? Because they lost
Mogami Mogo.
Yeah, Mogo. Yeah. So like, I guess, man, it makes sense. They took the two biggest boob girls from each group and just inject them into this new group. Which is, I mean, is it Dempa? I guess it's fine. I don't know. I'm worried about them hurting the other two groups. Is all.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like when I heard that news, I'm like, well, who's Deer Stage? Because for me, Pixiv is like more familiar to me as a tech company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not okay. So I guess Deer Stage manages Denbagumi, but I don't know how well they do, how well they're doing that. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
Well, Deer Stage was involved with Moso Calibration too, right? Until Moso Calibration got signed with Sony.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, Moso Calibration going to Sony was like, for me, was like the worst thing to happen to them, because they like all their stuff's on Sony now, so you can't even watch any of
Yeah,
their
it's
stuff.
blocked, yeah.
So
I have to proxy it.
proxy it. Ugh.
Well, so I guess I don't really have an opinion. It's just more like my because I don't care either way, because I think Nijicon is, I'm afraid of where Nijicon has been going, like since like Siyama Emiri like took that leave and now she's gone basically.
Oh yeah.
And I've noticed with Nijicon is like every year they have some sort of big graduation.
Yeah,
And
they had
they
a
don't-
lot of members running around, and then but then they all disappear.
Yeah, they just leave one after another, and I just think they're just in a weird situation now where like when they were under Pixiv, they weren't like huge, but they were pretty popular.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's something that will lead to them debuting on like TV or whatever. I just don't see it right now.
Right.
But with Deer Stage, it's possible. Denpagumi is on TV
Yeah, it's
somewhat,
a lot
I
more
think.
possible.
But
Yeah.
I think the whole move with Perorin and Nagi joining Denpagumi, I think that's Dempagumi in a similar situation to Momoclo for me, where the members are getting older and they're still doing this like cutesy, like immature kind of thing, you know? I just think there's a shelf life to something like that. I don't know how much longer we're gonna keep seeing Momoclo dress up as like Kiss samurai people, like Kiss or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And Dempagumi just dance around like twirling batons and paint splashes and anime voices. Like, I think there is a limit to like how long you can keep doing that.
Well, the Momoclo thing is it's because I know Momoclo is a very like beloved group.
Yeah, they're huge.
I know somebody who told me like this year was like Momoclo's last year, like the last year in the spotlight, and they're gonna move to somewhere else, or 2017 was their last one, so they're gonna try to move to somewhere else.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, I wouldn't. If someone told me that, I'll be like, yeah, I can see that.
Who would you move towards though? Because
what do you mean? Who would you move towards?
Because Stardust is still going to push somebody, right? Somebody as their headliner, right?
Yeah, it's going to be like Ebichu or the other sister groups. But the problem with Ebichu is they're also losing members too. So it's just kind of a weird thing. I think Stardust. Okay, so back to the topic at hand, is my disappointment for 2017 is Stardust in general. I think their release quality was subpar. It wasn't as crazy as it usually is. I think it was noticeable across all the groups. And I think we're starting to see like the big losses. Like,
you didn't like,
I forgot what it's. No, I didn't. I don't think I liked any Stardust song or singles from this year. I think they were all lackluster, and PVs too. Like, one thing you could always count on Stardust was like at least PVs being entertaining, but that wasn't even the case, and that was huge. And you know, just the Ebichu losing members, Shachihoko lost a member.
Was that this
like
year?
It just. Yeah, it was this year. Earlier this year, Pink left from Ebichu. Matsuno passed away, sadly, tragically.
Yeah, which is...
And, it's just terrible. Like, she was a big part of Ebichu. And then Hirota Aika, who is arguably the mascot of Ebichu, is gone. Like, they're just losing people.
Like this, or she not graduated yet, right?
I think she's...
Days.
Yeah, she's graduating this month. Like, her last show is like in this month, in January. But like, I think not just Momoko, but Stardust in general, I think had a really rough year this year, and I was like severely disappointed with what they put out.
So, but they're not gonna disappear, right? Like,
I don't think so. No.
The big question is, everybody's like, "Oh, AKB's over. AKB's over." At this point, AKB can't. They're not gonna disappear, right? Worst case scenario, they fall into like Morning Musume, like late 2000s kind of stuff where they were just
but the scary thing is that I don't know if this has to do anything with AKS's money directly, but they're expanding to Mumbai now, and
I heard about that too. It's I didn't read into it.
Crazy. They're going to Mumbai. They're going to start up TPE right at some point, and then they have Produce 48 with Korea. So it's just they're expanding even more now. So I don't know what that whole thing's about. Maybe Akipi is just selling the rights to use the 48 name, but like maybe they don't have to spend any money or do anything. But
well, I've heard that Akipi has a big gambling problem. That's what I've heard from somebody in the industry or somebody who's familiar with the industry.
So are these projects his gambles?
Well, no. I mean, he has like a gambling problem, and he needs money. So specifically, I don't know how much he's actually involved with all this stuff now, because at this point he's just kind of like this figurehead thing, right? I don't know how much he's actually like day to day. Let me run all this stuff and write all these songs. I think those things are long gone, right?
He's literally just writing lyrics and that's it, and picking the songs.
Right, and just using his name as the brand. Like, oh look, he produced this. That'll sell, another X amount of records, right?
And I think that shows like. It still shows that he's still like touching the stuff that's coming out, because of all of the 48 songs I listened to, they still have that Akipi feel where he's picking the songs that he likes. He doesn't write them, he doesn't compose them, he doesn't draw them up. No, not lyrically, like musically and melodically. It's still the same. It's still him, like at the end making the decision to say, yes, I will put this out as a single. Thank you, Inoue Yoshimasa or whatever.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I probably can't name you a single from the last year or last 2 years besides like Love Trip or something like that. Or Halloween Night was how long ago?
That was like 3 years ago, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I don't know.
Well, it wasn't this Halloween, right?
No, it wasn't.
So it's either last Halloween or the Halloween before. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Like I'm
couldn't-
keeping up with 48 stuff, but like they all to me they mesh together.
the sound
and, like,
the sound like yeah, right. It's all for me. I can't. It's got that one sound to it.
right. And I mean, if you're into it, that's perfectly fine. It's the same with Tsunku. When Tsunku was writing stuff like all the time for Hello Project,
Right.
you know it was a fucking Tsunku song. You can hear it.
Yeah,
You can hear his
well,
grunts, the way he uses instrumentals. Like it's all the same.
Well, it's funny because I've started noticing that within the indie idols. Like you'll hear a song and you're like, "Hey, that sounds kind of familiar to this other group song," and then you look up the guy who wrote it, and it's like the same
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
You're
like
like,
the dude
oh.
who writes like songs for Maison Book Girl has written like 2 or 3 songs for Kikawa Yu, and I'm sitting here going, I don't need more Maison Book Girl outside of Maison Book Girl, so
So
it's weird.
I mean, this is a weird question, but do you think? I mean, is that something good for the industry, or is? Because I mean, you kind of want just switching up the person who's writing the song and putting them in a different group. I guess it's good for that guy who's writing it, right? Because potentially they might find new fans of his music, right? But like as far as like evolving and making, because there's tons of new music like going on in the indie scene all the time.
There is, but like I don't go to Kikawa Yu to listen to Maison Book Girl songs.
Right,
you know?
exactly. So
That's
it's not,
my issue
It's not
with it.
doing the genre a service, right? Because it's not creating a new. You're not creating a new entity. You're just injecting it into something that's already existing.
Like I'm not against like Tsunku's actually writing or producing a song for Akipi's Last Idol thing.
Really?
This year, yeah. So Tsunku and like a couple other producers, I think it was like Komuro Tetsuya or Himura Tetsuya, one of those Tetsuyas. Yeah, one of the is either TM Network or Globe, one of those guys. They're producing, one of the groups for Last Idol, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all, but if I get to Tsunku, I've heard of so many Tsunku songs. I don't know what he's gonna like give them.
It's weird
because
right?
he has the ability to write a boring ass ballad if he wanted to. So that's what I think he's gonna go for. He's not gonna give him like a Pyoko Pyoko Ultra.
That's funny. Yeah, because one of my favorite bands, Baseball Bear, like the lead singer of that, he started doing idol stuff too. Like,
yeah, he wrote a song for Lyrical School, or he used that song. He gave him that song.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been doing a couple other. I forget which other group. He did a couple other songs for 2 other groups. I don't know, man. I haven't been like super excited. Like, hey, he's writing for so and so. Let me check that song out. I always like the groups are. It's different. Kenny? How do you like Suribit, dude? Sometimes I hear their songs and it's so like bland idol sound.
Well, I like Bland Idol.
That is a genre. It's not. I really don't want to say bland. Like it's not like.
Yeah, that sounds.
It sounds very insulting. But okay, so I've had this analogy. I've been using this analogy in the underground worlds. I don't know if I've officially said it to you guys or on a show. Like when I say bland, okay, so like it's like vanilla or chocolate, right? You go into Baskin Robbins, you get vanilla, you get chocolate, right? That's that. I mean, people like chocolate, people like vanilla. They're a good seller. But like I like this crazy shit that's like. Chocolate with like, pistachios and avocado bits or something like that. And you're like, what is that? And like, that's the stuff I can find in the indie scene is these weird flavor combinations, like cookies and cream, but with like, chocolate, strawberry,
so
ripple or something.
For me, I guess I'm in the middle between you guys where I don't necessarily just want vanilla or chocolate, but I would go with like cookies and cream or mint chocolate chip.
Cookies and cream or mint chocolate chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
something, a little off kilter, but not like completely.
Okay. So catch me up on Paspa real quick. Are they still okay? Because I've tried to listen to their last couple singles and I just can't get into them.
It's big. It's hugely a hit or miss. So that's another group I'm worried about just becoming completely irrelevant.
Just where can they go now? Right? What's the next?
Yeah, they've already hit their peak. Their peak was when they debuted #1 the week before NMB did, or whatever.
Oh, right.
It was something like that. It was like Paspo was #1 the week before Zetsumitsu Kurokami or something like that. Yeah, that was their peak. That was when they had the chance to become bigger.
Right? Oh, you're talking about like that's when they're on the rise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was like their whole thing. It was like a record or something, like a major debut girl idol group becoming #1 on Oricon the first week or first single or whatever, and then NMB broke that record or something like that the week after or something. So I would be afraid if I was. I am a Paspo fan, but I've been kind of. The thing for me is that as soon as like groups start releasing like not great songs or PVs, I get super lukewarm and they just come like crashing down and I just completely forget about them. And the only reason why I remember them is because we have to talk about it on the show. So, and that's what happened to Paspo. Like give me like 3-4 years ago, Paspo was great. I love them. I listened to them like, I don't know, at least once a week or something. And then boom, it's just been like
Pretty
hit or
Lie
miss.
is still my favorite song of theirs.
Pretty Lie's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the best song.
That's okay.
I can't do all their rock stuff since then.
The rock stuff is their best stuff.
No. Oh,
that's what.
Negishi is how old now? 25.
25, 24, 25.
Okay, she's not getting married anytime soon.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Your Yagami Kumi got married, right?
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a worse thing about.
But she's like 23.
So that's top one worst thing that happened.
Yagami Kumi.
We had to find a new Jesus. So.
Achan's Jesus.
No, she's not Jesus.
After she got drunk and got carried by that dude, I don't think she's Jesus.
Yagami Kumi. But is it for sure? It's for sure she got married, right? It sucks because I was hoping she was still doing like Nagoya promotions and stuff like that. I don't know if she's gonna keep that up now that she's married. Probably not, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what her plans are. She was doing some random shit, so.
Yeah, she was doing random stuff.
All right, Kenny, what's your like disappointment, if you have any, for this year?
Biggest disappointment?
Yeah.
For last year would probably have to be Tsuto Ririka announcing marriage.
Oh gosh. Because you were expecting to be in contention, huh?
What do you mean by in contention? Just
of
like
her hand of marriage.
He doesn't get it.
No way.
Whatever. I mean, she's.
Wait. Are you disappointed because you think the idols should not do stuff like that? Is that what it is?
Yeah, partly.
Okay. I mean,
or it could be both too.
No, I agree with you though. Like the way she did it was a slap in the face to all idol fans, basically. So
no,
I agree
but y'all know that shit was probably coming out, right? That shit was coming out somewhere.
Yeah, that's why. Like Boon Chun had it, and they were gonna release it, and they probably told her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fuck it."
No, I mean at that point, I mean you can't. So you're disappointed that she got caught, not so much that she announced it.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed that she announced it.
You would rather her just like go down burning with a Boon Chun cannon, Boon Chun bazooka?
Yeah, like that's more quieter.
It's preemptive, dude. It's a preemptive strike.
I think it was like I applaud her balls in doing that, but I agree with you that it was a shitty thing to do. I think it made us as idol fans who like I don't agree with the dating ban, but it does exist. So I think you like become an idol going in knowing that you have to respect the ban. It's part of the rule. It's part of the contract. And people are like, oh, it's inhumane and stuff like that. I'm sorry. A job is not a right. It's a privilege. You signed up for it. You're not like forced to sign it. You can go somewhere else where you can date. Okay. You don't have to become an idol and not date. That's not a thing that happens, but some people make it a social justice issue apparently. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It's the way she went about it is the issue, because for me, when I was watching it live, I thought she was trolling. I was straight up trolling. Like,
no, yeah, and I told you, I'm like, yeah, I was like, Yoshi, like, she just did that. You're like, no way.
I was like, come on, man, that's bullshit. That's just hilarious. That's a good joke, man. You know, good on you. That's a good joke.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like too. I don't know. Just she didn't seem like she was joking.
Right. She had the very like dead stare. And she looked really
like
nervous.
Her tone of her voice was just like she was too serious.
Yeah.
She's still in the group, or she's gone now?
She's gone.
I think she's gone. Yeah, but she was in the group for like another couple months, right?
Right. I didn't know if she specifically.
She didn't leave right away. that was another thing that pissed me off. Not pissed me off, but that irritated me about the whole situation is as soon as you say like, "Oh, I'm getting married," I feel like you should just go
And not
get
stick
out,
around.
right? Yeah, not stick around.
Yes. You need closure, man.
What's
People need
the
to go
point?
like. People need to go and say, "Hey, congratulations," or like, "Hey,
So
fuck
just do
you,
one
bitch."
handshake. Man. You don't need to be in the group for fucking 5 more months.
Yes.
It's not a
I
pity
love.
tour.
Oh, that's one thing I loved. I always love these. I always love these stupid Anakin Skywalker gifts that people start putting out whenever whatever chosen idol graduates.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Sayashi Riho left, everyone was like, "You were the chosen one," and then now Suto Ririka's like, "You were."
She was never the chosen one.
Yeah, she was never chosen one. But whatever. Like her staying on for a little while. Like I'm pretty sure that's like just procedural.
Like
severance.
obligations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, did y'all watch Last Jedi? Out of curiosity.
I did.
I've already spoiled the movie, so if you guys want to spoil
No. I
it,
just wanted your
go
opinion.
for
If you
it.
haven't
Just
seen
spoiler tag it before we.
No, I'm not trying to spoil it. I just wanted
go
your
into it.
opinions if you had seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's no big deal.
I mean, it sounds okay. I spoiled myself on it, so.
Okay, but sorry, go. I didn't mean to derail the conversation.
All right, Kenny. Anything else?
I feel like there was one more, but I couldn't remember.
Okay.
I guess there's a lot of groups that like just disbanded.
Oh, dude. Easily, I had so many graduations this year. So many groups disbanded. It sucked. It really sucked, dude.
Isn't Pucci Paspo disappearing or something like that?
Are they? I just got into them too a couple months ago.
I have no idea because they put me to sleep.
Pucci Paspo, really? You don't like that
Yeah.
one where they're dancing around in the pool?
Oh, Palette is going.
Oh, Palette's been gone for a while though, right?
No, I don't know.
How? Why is there a second little sister group to Paspo? That's a whole nother thing I'll never
Because
understand.
they're just trying to bank. They're trying to make a new group, but they're trying to bank on the name.
Paspo is barely popular. Why?
Uh-huh.
How would they think that it would be profitable to come up with 2 sister groups?
Well,
Predia isn't that popular either, so it's like kind of ridiculous to spread yourselves that thin.
yeah. I mean, sometimes it's easier to make a new group than it
Oh.
is to
Right.
bank off of a group than to make up a new one.
I guess that's why we're seeing all these disbandments because of people realizing, oh, we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, there's
an idol
there's
group
definitely
in the
like an
first place.
outstretch, right? Like people stretch
Yeah.
themselves too far out because expansion.
It's like it's like when the economy gets good, people start like
yeah,
owning businesses and stuff, and they're
absolutely.
like, as soon as the economy tanks, they're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who invest money, think like for the dream, and they have the dream and they want to do that.
Right? They
but,
start their own business,
but they
whatever.
don't actually have the talent or the know-how, and it's just it's like nature, survival of the fittest. Like the people who
Yep.
know what they're doing survive, and the people who don't, they fold, and it sucked.
Yeah.
That happened to me one time. I was in Austin. I went to this lady's Chinese restaurant. I was eating there, and like the place was empty, and she was like, "Oh, come back again," and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm from Houston. I can't come back," and it wasn't that good. So
Yeah.
and the next time I went to Austin, it was gone. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks." I felt bad. She's a very nice person. She's a really nice lady, but maybe
That's what it is.
Maybe she didn't know anything about running a Chinese restaurant. So
That's exactly what it is. Some people don't have it. Some people start it because, oh, I'm a producer. I can write songs. Maybe I can produce an idol group. No, it comes with the cost of producing outfits, making PVs, setting up shows. It's multi-layered. So I think a lot of like management takes on way too much responsibility, and they just crash and burn because they just can't handle it. That's my guess. I don't fucking know.
So you really think there's going to be a decline this next year?
I don't know if it's going to be this year, this upcoming 2018 season,
Right.
but I think a lot of groups that were really solid are just completely tanking.
Yeah.
And I don't see groups that are taking their place.
Right.
You know how, like, in sports, right? There's the concept of tanking where you purposely get terrible players and pay them no money, play them every day, and lose a whole bunch of games.
Right.
So you can get high draft picks, right?
Right.
But in the idol industry, there's no, like, drafting, like, except for AKB. But that's a
I
whole
mean,
different thing.
yeah, but
But,
there is a
like, I'm
talent
talking
pool,
in
right?
terms of... Yeah, there is, but I'm not talking about talent or idols specifically graduating or whatever.
Sure.
I'm talking specifically about groups. When someone tanks, there's always someone that's that gets bumped up into the playoff contention, right? Because if you
somebody
go
goes
from
down.
if you're like in basketball, if you go from the 8th seed to a number 1 overall pick, someone's got to move up to the 8th seed, you know?
Right.
So
Somebody's got to take the spot, right?
I'm not seeing those groups. Where are these groups that are taking over for groups that are declining, like Pasco?
So Task, like Mech told me Task is doing pretty well, right? They've had a
Task Have Fun actually won a record tie show for Best Newcomer PV Idol division, I believe.
Right.
So that PV was great.
I don't know how
3WD is a great
great the group is, but
right,
like,
they have a lot of hype. Yeah.
So what about the WACK groups then? Are you not seeing those
I think
groups?
the WACK groups are the ones that are about the only groups that I would even consider would be taking up those spots.
Mm-hmm.
But like a group like Bish is already surpassed the popularity of Paspo at any point.
Right.
So they've gone beyond that.
Uh-huh.
But where are these mid-tier groups? That's my question. It's either you're like fucking Bish, AKB, Nogizaka, Momoclo, and then you're either like unknown and completely basement level. I don't see the groups that are like mid-tier that are doing well. Like for me, like I'm not saying I'm not talking about sales. I'm not talking about, stuff like that. I'm talking about like music quality, PV quality. I think it's all down.
I think you hit a really important point. I think that's where the dividing line is now, right? Because either you're like a high quality, high budget, because like all the WACK groups, Avex is behind them, right? So
some of them, yeah,
they've got money. But I think that's the naturally like where the line automatically made itself, because it's from you're small, you try to get big, you want to get big, but you can't. I mean, there's really nowhere to go, right? Because I remember there was a time when I was following Alice Project pretty closely, and you could tell Alice Project is trying to be a very, I don't want to say AKB, but like they definitely did kind of look at the formula and say, hey, well, what are the things we want to follow and what are the things we can't follow,
Yeah, but like that whole thing, the Alice Project thing, is so weird because I'd never see PVs ever,
right.
And when they do release PVs, they're not very good. So I don't know what they're trying to do. It seems like their sole focus is on selling out Parms, and
it was.
The only thing
they've completely changed that now. They've pretty much alienated their regular base of Parms fans, right? Because like used to, they allowed you enough time to at least talk a little bit. Now it's like no,
ease of access.
Take your picture and get out of here. The thing is, in the last 3 months, they've basically gone full hardcore YouTuber. Like all their members now are all YouTubers. Like every single one of them have a channel.
Like joke videos and memes and
Trump like pranks. It's all prank videos and stuff, and it's all been
gel bikini things.
No, and it's all been super, super, super successful. Like Kami Aaron is like doing a couple million views occasionally whenever she posts a video.
Takes her
that
top
looks
off.
like it looks like there's one that I can't read Japanese, but it says like AV debut. That's like the title of like on her like thing. It says AV and then the katakana for debut.
So clickbait.
Yes, and then you go click on it, and it's just basically she's just reading through people's comments, like, "Oh, I like it when you do this." She's reading like the good comments, the bad comments, and then like one of them is like, "Hey, when are you gonna have an AV debut?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have an AV debut never." And then that's the end of the video, and you're like, "Motherfucker."
Yeah.
But yeah, so like they've gone. The credit to Alice Project. One of the things is I know it pisses off a lot of the mainstay fans because the experience has changed so much in the last 3 years. Since I started going, the experience has changed so much. Like from when you could used to be able to go and do stuff like normally to where you were able to, they changed it up so much to the point where like originally you would go and you would just go and see groups, and then they set it up because you could tell they were really trying to get casual people in because they all started offering food at Parms. So like your it was the best deal. Deal-wise, you spend $15, you got to see a show, and they gave you like a side of curry and a soda. So like people were just going like, "Oh, okay, well, value-wise, it's there." That's how you get like casual people, right? It's the value.
I'm as casual as it gets, in terms of Kamen Joshi,
sure,
or Alice Project,
right?
I still wouldn't go to that.
You wouldn't go because there's other groups you'd rather see.
That and the fact that what they've put out is minimum and does not cater to my taste.
You're talking musically.
musically or video wise.
Yeah,
And they
but-
release
but-
like once
but it's
one
more-
video every 3 years. What is
Yeah,
it?
but
Something
when
like
you're
that.
but when you're in Japan, it's like, oh hey, this girl's cute. Let me. Oh well, I guess I could go see her this weekend. I guess. Let me go.
Yeah,
meet
but
her in real
I
life.
would rather go see a group that I am attached to musically and am invested in.
Yeah.
I don't think Curry is enough.
No, I know, but I don't think again that's where I'm saying it's like very, very, very casual. It's like very. It's not even like geared almost towards idol fans. I think they're trying
Right.
to. They're trying to do the whole AKB like take over the world. Let me become a household name kind of thing. And for credit to the credit to Alice Project, they've just constantly like been changing and try like every time something doesn't work, they just change it and do something else. Like
Yeah, everything they've done is baffling to me because
No,
it does not get to anything.
It
I
doesn't
want.
make sense, right? Because why the masks, right? I think some people ask me like why the
'Cause
masks.
they can't sing.
No, it's not even about It's not even about singing.
Oh, you've talked about this because you can replace the members easily without
Replace the member.
people
Okay,
getting attached.
when they shoot a promotional thing on and they put this big billboard in Akihabara, like they're all wearing masks because potentially in 3 months later, 3 of those girls are all going to quit.
Right. Yeah.
So if they're wearing
makes
masks, then you can just swap them out, and nobody on the outside knows the difference. Everybody who goes to Parms knows who left and knows like, hey, that girl's not even in the group anymore. But so I mean, that's one of the big things or reasons why the mask exists, and I don't know if it was planned in the beforehand. I guess it was, but
Yeah, it's just the way I consume idols is not live because I don't go to Japan.
Mhm.
So they don't do it for me,
which
unfortunately.
is why you got to go. Oh my gosh.
No, but that's still not going to be enough to make me like Alice Project because I don't
No,
think
I'm
they're.
just saying go see Idols live.
Yeah. If I do, I will definitely do that. But I don't.
Is it safe to put somebody under?
Under what?
You're not like anesthesia.
You're gonna kill Alice Project?
No, we just put you under, and then
Oh.
you wake up in Japan.
Sorry, I thought you said euthanasia for 1 second. I was like, okay.
What did I say?
You said anesthesia, but I thought
Anesthesia, there you
euthanasia.
go.
Yeah. I thought you said euthanasia, but you didn't. No, it was me.
Youth in Asia? What?
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia. Okay, what about euthanasia?
That's not the youth in Asia.
Uh-huh.
Euthanasia as in what you give to like an animal because they're suffering and you want them to pass peacefully.
You mean putting them down?
Yeah. I thought that's what you're talking about.
No.
Okay. Can we talk about some positive things instead of bad things, negative things?
Oh yeah. About this last year?
Yeah,
I
real
don't even
quick.
know. I have no clue off the top of my head what was positive, but yeah.
Oh, do you want me or Kenny to go first?
Absolutely.
Kenny, do you want to go first?
I think Kenny disappeared.
Kenny died.
He's been euthanized. Asia.
He has been euthanized. No.
Oh, euthanized. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's the correct way to say it. But I have to say, actually, I had one more bad thing about last year. I think the PV quality sucks. I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Kamiyato real quick, but I think the PV quality has just gone off the deep end, and it might be because I'm watching more and more groups with less budget.
Uh-huh.
But there are groups that
Okay.
don't have high budgets that still make great PVs, so it's not really an excuse.
Okay, so you watched it. How many of the Play Balls PVs have you seen?
How many did they release this year? Like 2?
Well, this year they probably had like 1.
Was it We Are Empire?
No. We umpired last year.
Was it last year?
But
I
did
don't
you not
even
like
know.
We Umpire? We Are Umpire?
I thought the PV was funny.
That was one
but
of
I
my
don't-
favorite. That's one of my all-time idol favorite PV videos.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it anywhere near my top 10, but I thought
No,
it was okay
it's
for
for
what
me.
it
It's
was.
top 10, easy top 10.
I think the song pissed me off more than
No.
No.
The
Yeah,
song,
the
okay,
song
the
I
song I understand, but
I hated the song.
thematically, that PV makes sense so much. It's such a like. It's I don't know why I like baseball themed groups. I guess
I
Because-
like was it like black and white, right? Or gray
Yeah,
entirely,
black
and then they're wearing the umpire gear, and then they had like workout outfits.
Well, it's not that they're wearing umpire. Well, they are wearing the umpire gear, but the whole point they're like in these sexy like like cutoffs, mid-drift.
Like yoga pants or workout pants, workout shorts,
yeah,
right?
shorts, and they're all
Yeah,
dancing
I like
around.
that look. That was cool.
No, that's cool. And then
I-
like it's supposed to be like this sexy PV, and then all of a sudden like
right,
they're in umpire gear dancing around and some
right,
totally
right. I thought
ridiculous
that was
outlandish.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
so like, did you
overall,
see
it
that? You
doesn't
didn't see
do
the
enough.
one, the one this year, right? There's a Ore Tachi, Katobase Ore Tachi.
No, I definitely remember the.
dun, 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 and they're dancing
Okay,
around.
okay. I remember. Okay, so it was about a salary man who looked like me because he was overweight and chunky, and then he was like sad or whatever. But he goes to the play
Well,
ball
he,
show.
he
and
wasn't
he's, like, all
sad.
happy.
His job was tough, right?
Okay, yeah. So he was basically me,
Uh huh.
and he went to go see play balls, and he was all happy because he likes play balls.
And then
right?
he took a picture with him, and it's like, and he felt refreshed, right? So
Yeah, that's not
the
not
quality
a good
of that PV is very high, right? It
PV.
looked
I mean,
like,
like as in like visually.
yeah, visually, like it was shot on good cameras.
Yeah, it was
It's
shot
not like-
nicely.
it's not
That's
like
never an issue with play balls, but the
Well-
issue is that I don't think that's interesting
It's
because it
interesting
featured more of the guy than the members. I'd rather see PVs feature the members more than the guy.
Yeah, well, okay. So the problem is thematically, there's not talented people out there making PVs.
Yeah, that's my overall assessment. Is that like for me as an example,
Mhm.
like You'll Melt More had awesome PVs, and they don't work with the highest budget. It's
Right.
not like they're going to grandiose locations
So
and using crazy sets.
give me an example of a PV that they made.
They had a PV called Moi Moi where they're working at a restaurant, like a
Uh-huh.
Denny's, a knockoff Denny's, right? And their employees there, and they're just completely shitty at their jobs, like just terrible.
Okay, stop, pause. They're shitty at their jobs. How are they relaying this? Because they're just like they're showing
Okay,
them fall
so-
over and stuff.
One member is riding a fucking hoverboard to deliver water. One member that is pouring the water into a cup is overfilling it without paying attention, and one member is just scribbling the order, like not like writing anything down.
Okay.
So they're completely shitty at their jobs, and they don't give a shit that they're shitty at their jobs. So they look up a manual that, it's like an employee guidebook that says, this is how you deal with customers that complain. So all the customers are mad. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Can you give me some like decent customer service here? And then they look up at the book and they go, okay, this is how we deal with customers that are complaining. You hypnotize them. So they hypnotize them and they make them like dancers that dance to their music. And it's funny and it's good. And that does not take a lot of budget. It's just funny, straightforward, and creative.
Yeah, but so how invested in the members are you?
Not enough to say like I didn't know their names until like maybe earlier this year.
Okay, so it's not like you like the members, so you like the PV.
No, it's not. I don't really care about the members all that much. I just think they're enjoyable, like PVs that are straightforward and funny and goofy. That it caters to my taste. I like goofy, fun PVs. I don't like stuff that's too serious. I don't like stuff that's too dramatic. I don't like stuff that's too like, oh, this is the story of not a person in the group. I don't like those either.
I see.
So, yeah. I think You'll Melt More PVs are the kind of PVs that groups that don't have that much budget should be doing.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a style. It's creativity, right? That if you don't have the budget, then you have to go creative.
Right.
Because you can't. Yeah. So.
And a lot of these smaller groups are settling for shitty drama PVs like, oh, let's just come up with a shitty idea of, okay, you're probably a struggling musician, and you're running to another member and they're a struggling, employee at a restaurant. It just
Let me ask you a question.
always,
How difficult is it? Because like some of these, like song wise, sometimes it's not very easy to come up with a theme, right?
right. That's where it boils down to is how much are you willing to match the song with the PV? Because if you have some like straightforward idol pop music, you're probably not going to want some, wacky PV. But then again, I think that's more interesting than introducing boring characters that are in high school and they're going through Seishun bullshit and they're sad. I think it's better if you just go outside the box and...
Well, Japan is pretty traditional, right? They don't want to...
I think it depends.
Not looking
Like-
to like deviate. Let's play the safe bet.
No, not necessarily. I think Japan has great ideas at times. It's just that those ideas are few and far between, I think.
You said you had something good. Oh, your good thing was the you melt more. You melt more.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not in love with their stuff, but I think they've done PVs correctly with the budget that they're given. I think that's my sticking point. They're not the highest budgeted group, although they are higher budgeted than like some shitty unknown group, but they're not working with that much of a budget and they do enjoyable PVs. So that was my point, is that the quality of PVs is just getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And my positive was that I really liked Bish this year. I think they're my idol group of the year in terms of PVs, music. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, man. The term alt idol gets thrown around. You want to explain what exactly is alt idol? Because sometimes I see stuff I'm like, that's alt idol? I don't think so.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. Like alt idol for me is like they're not doing like quote unquote safe standard stuff.
Safe?
They're not doing they're not doing like AKB stuff. They're not doing Supergirl stuff. You know, that's
well. Then technically, like something like Lyrical School is not standard idol stuff, right?
Yeah. That would be alternative. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I find the whole alt movement to be very weird because there's a lot of weird. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of idol groups in Japan that are not doing standard idol stuff, but you only hear about the handful of 10 or so groups.
I think that whole scene is already saturated already because they all do very similar styles of music. So
sure. Well, I mean, I was surprised because I was reading some stuff online and it's like talking about groups to check out, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll check out. And I listened to it, and I was like Bish doesn't sound very alternative to me. Like I see, it's pretty like high produced and like. I don't want to say pop music, but it's definitely not like I don't see.
I mean, some of their stuff is really straightforward, like J-rock pop for sure.
Sure. So I'm trying
to. But some of it is still punk.
What's the alternativeness of it? Like the punk? Is that one just idol punk?
Yeah. I mean, they made a PV where they're covered in shit and semen. So I mean, that's
but that's
alternative.
But if you close your eyes, you don't look at the PV. The music is still pretty like standard, right?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think it's more aggressive than most idol pop rock.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not like straight up bubblegum. I'm saying, but I'm saying
like I would say Paspo is like pretty straightforward J-rock pop,
right?
As Bish is a little heavier.
But I mean, that's not. I mean, that doesn't make it alternative, does it? Like, does it's like a little bit heavier? So like Baby Metal is. Straight up,
I would say Baby Metal is alternative.
Baby Metal is alternative, but I feel like it goes full on. Like you don't see Baby Metal doing these. They don't like Baby Metal's not doing straight. Like some of the stuff I've seen from Bish is like pretty. What's the word? I don't want to say ballady, but like.
Yeah, they've done some emotional stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, emotional stuff. Whatever.
Promise the Star, Orchestra, My Landscape. Yeah.
I really like this one Bish PV. I can't even think of the name, but it's the one where
Giant Killers.
No, it's the one where they're riding around in the shopping carts and throwing around paint on each other.
That is Honto Honki.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's a superb music video. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good PV. Yeah, I agree.
Fantastically made. Like I love that video, but like the song is.
I like the song.
I like the song, but I'm not. It's not anything that I would be like. This is a revolutionary song, and you've never seen this in idol. It's not like this heavy rotation moment, which, like, I feel like it should be.
In hindsight, it's hilarious that heavy rotation is kind of held as like the standard, right?
Why? Why is that?
Because they've done millions and millions of songs since then that sound similar to that style.
To heavy rotation?
Yeah.
Sure, but at the
like
time,
nothing that
it was
catchy or good, but like. Basically every other song that they do is heavy rotation.
Maybe, but
just in terms of energy and like
at the time there had never been a heavy rotation, right?
Yeah.
That's why heavy rotation is right now the current #1 most influential idol song of all time.
I think I completely disagree with that.
I completely agree.
I don't.
So what would you say is the most all-time most influential idol song then?
I think there are better. Well. I don't know if that.
Okay, so the only alternative you could say is like Ponytail to Shushu.
Yeah, or other AKB songs.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, okay, so that's all. Well, but it's all within AKB and like those.
It's just that like
styles.
that song was the one that either put them on the map enough that the mainstream media said this is their song. This is forever known as their song. I don't think it was a conscious decision or anything by the fans that made them say
No,
this
absolutely.
is the.
It's not the
It
fans
was
because if you look at the highest selling songs, some of the best songs are not very high selling just because
Right. Like
fans don't know.
if Heavy Rotation is as well received as we all think it is, I think it would still be like ranking high at Request Hour. I don't know how high it ranked.
Request Hour. Did those even go on this year?
I think so. They do it every year.
And there's new ones coming out. Oh my gosh, I'd be interested in seeing. Well, actually, I probably wouldn't be because
I think Request Hour is kind of bullshit because they always end up doing songs that came out that year because fans are biased.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's what's topical on the top of their mind.
Yeah, but like in the spirit of that, I think it should go to the most recognizable best songs.
Recognizable?
Yeah. Because you're not going to vote if you vote for your favorite song, right? You're probably not going to it's not going to rank.
Right.
You got to vote for if you're going to vote for an old song, it's got to be like Iwake maybe or Heavy Rotation or Ponytail or Everyday Katrusha or something like that, right?
So what were you saying? You were saying it should be disqualified. What?
I don't think I said anything about disqualification.
No, okay, you said Request Hour is like you were saying specifically certain songs. Fans are going to vote for the stuff that they recognize, right? Or that's the most recent.
Right. So it's like the classics.
Right. So your solution, or you see there a problem. That's a problem.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that's a problem, and this is how you.
No. I honestly don't give a shit about what ranks high or anything. I'm just saying. I don't even know why I even brought Request Hour up, but.
Okay. Well, we're getting close to wrapping it up. Any last topics?
No. Is Kenny here?
No, I think Kenny's gone, dude.
God damn it, Kenny. So what are you looking forward to for 2018?
2018, I'm looking forward to the new Play Ball single, Standing Double. It's going to be coming out March, I think, 17th.
Okay.
They lost some members, but they picked up a couple. One of the members is working at a cafe now. Maybe I'm probably going to go see her at the cafe. So.
God damn.
It's great, dude. I can't wait. I got to go back to Japan. I got to go back with so much money because I got to be able to spend all this stuff and replace all the members that have graduated over the last year. Some of those Idols members graduated. I will never see them again. It's crazy. And then some of them even came back after graduating, joined another group, and then re-graduated again. And I'm still not going to be able to. It's true. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. They came back and then graduated again 3 months later. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see them. Yep. Sucks.
Okay. I don't know if I'm excited or looking forward to it, but I'm curious as to where Idol Street goes for me.
Oh, that's a good topic.
I think they're
because I have no clue what the hell is going to go on with them.
Yeah, I think they're in a really weird situation because
you're talking about the whole Idol Street, right?
Yeah,
because
general.
It's not even Idol Street anymore. It's more like Idol Dirt Road right now.
Yeah, it's just a mess right now.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a good topic.
I think Supergirls just added some new members in the past year or so they're
okay.
They're doing okay, but
they lost what's her name? 2 of them this year, right? 2 of
they
the
lost
name members.
No, I think they lost
the eyebrow
Sakurako.
girl, Ryra. She left.
She left 2 years ago.
Really? I thought it was just earlier this year.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Mayashima, right? She left this year.
Mayashima Ami left, yeah, and Kitaguchi Sakurako left.
Yeah.
I think they're fine. They've hit their peak a long time ago. They're not gonna grow or anything like that.
Asakawa Nana is not going to be Idol Street Jesus.
I mean, she is because she's got a lot of jobs outside of Supergirls, but.
Right.
I don't think her revere work is going to save Supergirls. No.
Right. And then Gem Gem went through some scandals, right?
Gem is going through some shit. So if people don't know, 2 of the members were apparently, they were doing the showroom streams where they're in competition or whatever. So they're I guess they signed contracts to say, I'm going to stream on this date from this time to this time, right?
Oh, wow.
So it's contractually obligated. It's like a contest thing,
Right.
So I think one of the members, Murakami Lana, she skipped out on it and then went to eat dinner with another member, Yamamaho, and they were out apparently on dates with dudes, and they had some
it's
Korean
not like a case
barbecue.
where they forgot to stream.
No, it was just abandoning their post, basically, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's speculation. That's not 100% confirmed. It's all hearsay. There are pictures out there,
Wow.
but pictures don't really mean it happened that day and that time.
Oh, really?
So we don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you were saying
it's not like
pictures don't lie or something like that.
no, but like what pictures don't have, someone holding a newspaper up, with that date and time,
Right. Sure.
It's not like you can say this happened that day.
Sure.
So they don't know for sure. And then it was weird because
that was
Gem
a
is
while
going
ago, though, right? That was a couple months probably now, right?
This is like 2-3 months ago. Yeah.
So there's
been
no official.
They were already going through some weird shit because their center left and she's studying in LA, whatever. She's coming back this year, apparently. We'll see. So they split Gem into like 2 separate groups.
Oh, really?
They're like 2 subunits now, yeah, basically. So they're already doing some weird shit. And it was supposed to be the victory year because it was the 5th year, and the 5th year in Roman numerals is a V. And it was
wait, this new year or last year was V?
This
2018.
year, yeah, like second half of 2017 and like the first half of 2018 was supposed to be their victory year, and this shit happens, and then they break up into 2 groups, which happened before the scandal or whatever, or their hiatus. So that already didn't make any sense to me. Them splitting up into 2 subunits. I thought that was super weird. And then this happens and all this shit.
It's like what happened with Link when they like split them up.
Yeah, and
like,
Link.
These are the members we want to keep, and these are the members we don't want to keep.
Link is in a weird situation too. So I looked them up, and they're all like, they gutted that group.
Yeah, they took out basically
Completely
everybody who was not like making money, causing the company to make money.
Yeah,
Huge
so it's
layoffs.
Yeah, that was weird, and that's Avex. That's probably on Avex basically, because that happened after they moved to Avex.
Yeah, that's absolutely Avex.
So Idol Street is also on Avex, so that's great. And Cheeky Parade lost a whole bunch of members. 2 of them are starting in LA as well, and they're supposed to come back
they're
this
supposed
year.
to come back, which by the way, are they coming back or they're not coming back? Your prediction?
We don't know. I think they are, only because they're in a really weird situation.
No,
I
but
think.
Here's the thing: if they come back, what are they going to do about the other 2 that are left? They're not coming back, right? I Kodakari, she's probably my second favorite member after Suzuki. So
yeah, she's definitely gone. I mean, that's a graduation. Her and Mizuragi, they both left, completely left. They're gone. They're graduated. They're not coming back.
If they were all coming back, I'd be excited, but I don't think they're all coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Cheeky Parade stuff never really did it for me, but like, yeah, this just clouds the whole thing. And funny enough, the one with the most amount of hype and like excitement is Wasta, and that's probably mostly due to the fact that they're the newest group. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, they're the newest group. The members they're not looking to leave yet.
Right. I think that usually always happens. Like people get attached to the new thing.
No,
so
I mean, absolutely.
So I don't know how long that's going to continue, and I'm curious about that. And then I think they're super niche. What they do is like so specific that
really.
Yeah,
I thought Wasta was like blowing up like crazy or something.
They are, but like I think it catches on to certain people. Like they do something very specific. It's like cat ears and weird ass genre, like
and dogs and cat songs about dogs and cats and
yeah, that's not for everyone.
Yeah, I got you, dude.
Really not for me. I like them as a group. I like their songs, but the whole concept doesn't really do it for me. So pastel colors, goofy shit. Like random like foreign words like sewn into their clothing, like it's weird, but people really like them, so I'm curious to see where that goes. That's probably what I'm looking forward to. Everything else is just depressing, I think.
You're looking forward to Idol Street?
Yeah,
that's what you're saying?
Because everything's just depressing for me. Like Paspo's like not doing good, TGS isn't popular or was never that popular.
TGS is still. Oh, by the way, Akimoto Manatsu is still in Nogizaka?
Yes.
I stopped caring about Nogizaka because I thought she graduated.
Why would you think that?
Because I don't follow them that closely. I thought she graduated. I literally thought she graduated. Somebody tweeted a picture of her the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember I loved her. She was great. And they're like, I was like, she's like, she's still in the group. I was like, really?
Yeah. Well, you need to watch some PVs, man. I at least watch PVs.
So
I don't watch the shows, but I watch PVs.
Where does she rank in the Nogizaka tier listing?
Usually anywhere from like 8 to 14, I think.
Oh, but whatever.
She's like borderline 7 god, whatever thing. Shifukujin or whatever.
Okay, maybe I'll look into Nogizaka. Would you tell me to get into Nogizaka or the other K group?
I think Keyakizaka has more hype, and I think their music.
The members are not cute though in that group.
I
see the members and I'm like, what?
don't agree with you, but sure.
It's because I've seen too many girls, dude. I've been doing this too long. All the girls that are coming out now, it's like, dude, they're not attractive. They're not.
I don't know. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, if they have good songs and good PVs, I don't care how cute or ugly they are. It's just whatever.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good thing.
I think that's the way I see it from your standpoint. Is I've seen so many idol groups that have cute, ugly girls, or whatever. It's a shitty thing to say, but like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'll find someone in the group that I'll get attached to eventually.
There's all these groups that I'm interested in going to see. Like I haven't seen or I've only seen once, and I've never talked to any members. Like, are you interested in hearing about that list at all?
Yeah.
There's a group called Momoiro Kakume that I'm into now.
I've heard of them.
With Kotone Mai.
I don't know their names, but I've heard the name.
Well, Kotone Mai is like a solo idol that's been around for a long. She's like 28 years old, dude.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
she got folded into she got specifically taken from a solo idol career, put into this group, and now she's like the leader of this group. And I don't know how big they are, but I'll see when I go, I guess. Yeah.
I've at least heard of their names, so.
Okay, I think that's good for the State of the Idol Union show.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yoshi, for being on the show. Thank you, Kenny.
And he's dead.
Yeah, he says you're welcome. And we'll get back together, record some stuff. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.